How's it going, everyone? I'm Blog of the Hut, and this is every new droid in The Mandalorian so far, from seasons 1 to 3 and the book of Boba Fett. Kicking things off, we have this protocols slash bounty hunting droid, most famously Q90, but we don't actually have a model number for him, so we see a few things about him. So there's the bounty hunting one at the beginning, and then also this guy, voiced by Richard Ayoade, which was just awesome. So obviously he's got the scomp link built into his arm there, which makes him a pretty nifty pilot, but as well pretty handy with a blaster in these scenes. He is meant to be a protocol droid turned bounty hunter, and we see these translation capabilities used by Frog Lady. Then there's this funny looking fishing droid on these stilts legs with a kind of R2 kind of head. Really kind of funny mishmash looking design, but pretty cool. It's kind of grown on me, but definitely sort of R2s with legs became a theme in this series. Then we have this security droid, very clearly based on the R1 astromech as seen in A New Hope and The Phantom Menace. The N5 Sentry droid, probably one of my favourite droid designs that we get to see up close. Lots of just a really cool feature and a nice sort of blend, given it that they don't look evil, but they're clearly menacing, so it just kind of fits with the New Republic, and we definitely see some of their fighting capabilities, though clearly they're not quite up to dealing with Mando and all his array of gadgets. And then again we see they have the kind of scomp link built into the arm. And then we do find out that they speak in Season 2 with this sort of overly aggressive prison guard. Then the next R2 on legs model, this ferryman droid on Navarro. I think this is based on an unused concept from Rogue One. But yeah, very kind of creepy. This is very definitely an R2. That's had some bolted legs on it, so clearly some kind of custom model there as it paddles the lava boat along. Then the HK-87 assassin droids, used by Elspeth. We see them patrolling. We get to see a few of their capabilities in the Ahsoka series. They're pretty fearsome combatants in this episode, but we definitely got a better look at them in Ahsoka. But pretty cool with the way they sort of flip up onto the building. I thought that was a nice move, but still no match for Mando. Then, oh my goodness, Dark Troopers. If you're not familiar with them, these are huge from the expanded universe. They were the main antagonist of Dark Forces, and they really sort of brought them to life in an amazing way in this series. I was so excited to see them. So you can clearly see they're sort of space capable with their rockets built into their boots, and just really, really menacing, really powerful droids. And just fighting one of them is pretty terrifying, which just matched up with the video game. Every time you saw one of these things in the video game, you just ran, and they could fly and stuff. They're just smashing Din's face in there, and yeah, these droids just resist everything. Fire doesn't even touch them. And the detail about the 3 phases is a nice callback as well. There were 3 phases in the expanded universe, but actually it was in reverse. So the first 2 phases were droids, and the 3rd phase was an exosuit. So it's a nice kind of reference to it while flipping it around and making it something new. And yeah, just so menacing when they're all in the corridors there and trying to smash down the door, and you really there was no way out against these guys. Just awesome, but obviously no match to Luke Skywalker with the Force as his ally, unfortunately. Then moving on to Book of Boba Fett, we have these dressing droids. I really like this design, kind of almost pit droidy with the heads, but definitely a unique design with that kind of rolling body and the sort of telescoping heads. I just really like the detail, the kind of spindliness of the arms and the back movements, and then we see how they sort of stretch up as they come over to him and give him his clothes. Next is UK2B. Don't really get a good look at him. He's always blurry in the background, but he's the droid bringing in the Gamorrean prisoners to Boba Fett. So clearly some kind of bounty hunter droid. Then these little dog creatures, if you don't know, these are based on the real life Boston Dynamics, but I really love the kind of the characteristics of them as they scamper around. Then this protocol droid, I really like this design actually. It kind of strikes me as possibly sort of the next generation after the 3PO model, because obviously the 3PO model's been around since before the Clone Wars. This unfortunate one holding a bomb, but then we also see this gold one, which is like Grief Karga's Major Domo type droid. Then the villain train driver droid, really cool as he's mucking about with the train, trying to get rid of the Tuscans off of it. I just love the sort of the way he looks. He just looks like a villain, even though he's got this completely robotic face with his eyes pointing everywhere and stuff. But clearly designed to move everything, and then just the way he just, nah, I'm out of here. Jumps out the window, pop. And off he goes, scurrying off into the desert. I do hope he kind of rusted and died, though, evil little critter. And there's another one here on Plazir in Season 3. Then we have Fennec's little scout droid. I debated whether this was a droid, but it does seem to have some level of intelligence. We can see it there, obviously using its camera to find its way around and making decisions and trying to scout around the guards as it flies through Jabba's palace, and is able to sort of evade them. So it's clearly got some level of intelligence, and obviously knows how to return to Fennec as well, and then it's able to project a pretty detailed map with all the locations of all the enemies, etc. on it. So pretty smart thing. So yeah, I do class it as a droid. And some being dropped off by these police droids here on Plazir. Then the little ant droids, again, really cool design. I just love their little legs, the way they move up and down. And I thought this was a really cool sort of juxtaposition, I guess, of these super modern machines, but using really ancient techniques, this sort of dry stone walling. So this kind of nice blend between the sort of the traditional and the modern of Star Wars. Now, they're clearly able to take some kind of orders from R2, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was kind of controlling them. I don't know if the fact that they're in R2's colours is sort of meant to suggest that. Then the Scorponok droids, and this was a real wow moment when these came on. These are based on an unused concept from Attack of the Clones by Doug Chang, and I remember seeing them referenced in one of the Essential Guides back in the EU, even though they never appeared. But this was just such an awesome moment for the finale. These massive sort of Clone Wars droids with their shields and obviously able to deal out a massive amount of damage. And you can just see that they just take everything from the flames to the Darksaber, just isn't denting it at all. Just the way they move was just really cool, and they're able to just deal out damage with their huge blaster cannons, but also just kind of kick Kasantan in the face there. And obviously a range of movement they're able to angle up, but the one thing they can't quite handle is a massive Rancor, and again that was really cool that it was the beast that beat them. And I like the detail there of the shield weakening and they're shifting the priority to the front to face the Rancor, which means that Din can slip through the back and deal it some damage. But even with sort of the saber strike to the head, it still keeps going. And again, even when Grogu uses the Force to disable one of its legs, it's still hobbling along, but then finally just smashed to pieces by the Rancor, and the other one suffered a similar fate. And probably one of my favourite droids is this background cleanup droids. I really love cool droids that are in the background, this kind of big treaded domed thing picking up the rubble after the battle. Then one of the dorkiest droids in the series are these two cape droids, just going around making sure Grief Karga's cape doesn't get muddy as he walks through the streets of Navarro. They're just really cute and really silly design. They are a slightly closer look at them there with their little wheels just following him around. Yeah, I love them, and I hope we get some more details on them sometime. Then this Mandalorian droid. This is quite based off an AD droid that we saw in The Rise of Skywalker, but I really love the design of the chest plate because it's clearly based on Mandalorian armour with that icon in the centre. Then this poor little pumping droid operated by this monster in the caverns of Mandalore. Then we have this taxi driver droid with the kind of line down the middle of the face. Kind of feels like based off the Ralph McQuarrie concept art. And we have a silver model of the same type of droid working as part of an architect/town planning team here on Navarro. Then this little patrol droid after he touches the mountain and scooping up his ice cream and keeping Coruscant nice and clean. Then this weird kind of therapist droid that's plugged in and never gets to move. I have sort of mixed feelings on this one. For some reason I don't like the face. I don't know whether it's just that the eyes are too big or what. I don't know, just for some reason put me off. Didn't feel quite right to me, but yeah, whatever. And there's another one in the bar on Plaisir 15. Then we have these train guard droids. I really like this. I thought this was just a really clever design because they're just kind of menacing without being menacing. So there's nothing kind of evil about them, but just something about whether it's the grills on the eyes just kind of gives them that extra menacing thing. And I think that is clear because we see a bunch of the same droids on Plaisir 15. And I've got to be honest, I originally thought they were completely different droids simply because they don't have the grills over the eyes, which gives them a more friendly expression. So we see quite a few of them just hanging around in various scenes. And I don't know if this qualifies as a droid, but we have this R2 probe thing. I can't quite tell if the probe's its own droid or whether it's being controlled by the R series, and either way it's clearly an upgrade on the R2 because R2 in the original trilogy has a periscope, not a detachable droid. So either we're seeing a new little droid here or at least an upgraded R series astromech that as it comes out and scans the shuttle. Then we have these droids with the sort of stripy visor. There's lots of them in the background, but obviously we most notably see them in this bartender on the droid bar who serves them and sort of gives his speech about how the droids are happy to serve the organics because they keep them going, which I thought was a nice touch, and obviously got some details of his capabilities there as he's able to sort of quickly sift through information and use his sort of photoreceptor to scan the data on that chip. So these little police droids that come out, quickly forming a little perimeter and dropping those droids to make the holographic thing, and you can see them using their scanners there to take in the crime scene. And then also they're obviously used for general police duty as they're seen here escorting the prisoner. Some fun droids on the Plaisir bar, like this one on the back right with the funny head. Then also this older kind of looking one, and this sort of gonky one with but with the manipulator arms, as we see in a few scenes. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed spotting all these droids, and I'll be continuing to get some more videos. So if you want to like and subscribe, you'll catch that stuff coming out soon. I've got a couple more Mandalorian videos and also Ahsoka as well. I'll be covering that in the next couple of weeks. But either way, thank you very much for watching, and may the Force be with you.